What's up guys, I'm James, and welcome back to the Great Gambino Watch Reviews. Today, we are going to take a look at the Omega Speedmaster Dark Side of the Moon Apollo 8. This piece does not belong to me, but I was fortunate enough to have it lent into the channel by my buddy Robert, who has occasionally filmed some beautiful macro shots for me. I will have a link to his Instagram photography work in the description down below. This special edition Speedmaster was first shown off at Bezel World 2018 to mark the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 8 mission, where it was the first manned spaceflight to leave low Earth orbit and be able to travel around the moon viewing its dark side. Going into the 45-minute radio blackout, astronaut James Lovell famously said, "We'll see you on the other side," which is quoted on the back of this piece. But let's take a look at how this piece comes packaged when you first purchase it. The main box is covered by a thick black outer box that has a silver printed Omega logo on the top. Once you remove the outer lid, you will find everything in separate compartments. On the right side, you have a thick red Omega operations instruction manual. Other than that, you will also have a leather card holder that stores international warranty, pictograms, and other important information. The actual main box is luxurious and made of a hard wood that is in a glossy piano black color. Flipping open reveals the piece secured and text branded information along the padded back. It looks very sleek with a combination of black and red trim. Once you remove the inner compartment, underneath you will find an Omega bag for storing parts. But let's go ahead and cover the measurements. This dark side of the moon has a width measurement of 44 millimeters, a lug-to-lug measurement of 50 millimeters. If you want to change out the band, it's 21 millimeters. And a case thickness of 14 millimeters. The crown is stamped with the Omega logo, and you will have the same coined edging that is found on most Speedmasters. While winding, it is very smooth with a snappy click that I find very satisfying. Let's hear an example of that. Unlike traditional Speedmasters that use aluminum, the Apollo 8 has a ceramic bezel insert. It's sleek, glossy, and can be used to measure speed and distance. From the side profile, it has a nice lip, adding dimension to the case. With this special edition, we have a piece of sapphire crystal that is raised off the glass. Like other modern Omegas, it's a very high quality piece of glass that has a generous amount of AR coating on the underside. Omega usually treats the top and bottom sides of the glass, and I believe that is the case with this one because it does an excellent job of reducing glare. I would say it's on par with my Omega Seamaster 300. This case is special as it is made completely from ceramic, which gives it an extremely light weight of around 90 grams. It has all the aesthetics that you would get with a traditional Speedmaster, having brushed case sides and polished chamfered edges that twist into the lugs. Because of this material used in combination with the sapphire and ceramic bezel, it is going to be highly unlikely that you will scratch this piece, and it should look mint for years to come. However, because it is ceramic, it is possible to shatter, creating that web-like effect that you would see on a broken front windshield. So you definitely want to try to avoid dropping or bashing it. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to the dial, and it is really what makes this piece so unique from the other Speedmasters. Everything is broken up into multiple layers, with the furthest being parts of the movement that you can see from the breakaways of this partially skeletonized arrangement. Next, we have matte finished pieces on the top and bottom that are lasered to have a moon-like texture. And above that is the race-style chapter ring with the chrono subdials. Our main colors are going to be black and charcoal gray that you can see are paired with bright yellow accents that really cause it to pop. Flipping around back, we are given a real treat. Starting with the outer edge, the text reads "Dark Side of the Moon, Apollo 8, December 1968, and then the quote we mentioned earlier, "We'll see you on the other side." The movement packed inside is the in-house caliber 1869 that is a modified 1861 made specifically for this piece, which can be seen through the sapphire display case back. The change of the 1 to 9 is in reference to the first moon landing in 1969, and as you can see, matching the front dial, there are more of those laser textured moon pieces tying it all together. This manual wound movement features 19 joules, vibrates at 21,600 beats per hour, and has a power reserve of 48 hours. Overall, it is very beautiful to look at and will capture much of your attention. By simply pressing the top pusher, it will activate the movement's chrono function. While this is activated, the right subdial will start a count up to 30 minutes before repeating this rotation. The lower dial will count up to 12 hours, with the left dial being your continuously running second hand. To stop the chrono function, simply press the top pusher once again, and then use the bottom pusher to fly back the chrono hand. The strap included is made of calfskin leather and has an overall racer look and feel. The end closest to the lugs has a raised padding with perforation holes to make the strap more breathable. You will notice the inside of the holes are accented yellow, matching the yellow stitching. This all tapers down to the rubber protector that is stitched around the sizing holes. On the reverse side is a stamped buckle that is made out of the same ceramic as the case. The strap is very soft, comfortable, and complements the watch perfectly. But let's go ahead and check out the Lume. The hands, chrono counter, and hour indices are all coated in green superluminova, just like a modern Speedmaster. But this dark side of the moon version has the added feature of a Lume tachymeter bezel. In addition, the Omega logo on the crown has also been treated with a very generous amount of superluminova. Because there is so much Lume on this piece, it glows very bright and is going to be extremely fun to admire in the middle of the night or any other dark settings. Here is a side-by-side shot next to an American quarter to give you a better representation of the scale. And here's a side-by-side shot next to the 2021 Speedmaster for an additional example of the scale. And here's a shot on my 6.75-inch wrist. Reading the dimensions on paper, I would assume that this piece is just too big for me, but strangely on the wrist and in person, it feels like it's a size that works. I have sometimes noticed that black watches tend to wear a little smaller, at least in my opinion. But I love the way this looks on the wrist, and I would have no problem wearing this size. But let's go ahead and cut to the outdoor shot so I can show you that natural light reflection.
Gambino.
Alright, that is going to wrap up this quick review of the Omega Speedmaster Dark Side of the Moon Apollo 8. There are many different limited edition Speedmasters out there, but in my opinion, this is one of the coolest ones I have ever seen. It has so many different aesthetic characteristics and is overall pretty sleek. On top of that, the story tied in with the Apollo 8 mission is really cool and makes this a special watch. One thing I would have liked is if it had a 20mm lug width instead of a 21, but it is something that I think is manageable these days. So, thank you for sticking with me all the way until the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.